Hello, YouTube. It is like the middle of the night. I just got back here from the weekend with my kids. Okay, I can actually see the wet spot here. See where kind of the water ran. The water was right over here. Right over here is the initial wet spot. Right over here. That's where the water came from. Right here at this spot, which I can see is right in here, right near this. So that's my designation right here. Right up along here is where it was coming in. You can see there's water here. That's a little blurry, but there is water there. So despite the owner, I can see nail holes or something there. I can see there's moisture coming in here. I don't know if you just saw water dripping there. But yeah, it's been raining like crazy this weekend. Florida's been raining the whole week. And despite the owner telling me that the roof leaks had been fixed, they aren't. So there was also another wet spot right here, but I don't think so. I'm looking here and I don't see it. It might have been the water from here running down to here by the AC. At first I thought the leak was coming from the AC area. I tore off the corner here. Luckily, even though I had added some of this new insulation, I hadn't put a new roofing up yet. You know, the new roof panels that I was going to install. So it's been raining all week, which is bad but good, because it's allowing me to see where water's coming in. And I know now that right here where this handle is coming across, and it appears to be coming from both sides. So I don't know what's going on here. This panel, this is like, it used to be metal here, but it's all rot, you know, all rusted through. So this is totally wet over here. This wood here, feel this. This is like, well, you can't feel it, but I can. It's totally soaking wet. And no, that is not mold, that is rust. It's not black mold. I know you guys are all freaking out about black mold. It is discolored wood and rust. But I can see now I have to somehow seal that. So I'm looking at it where the door is. I'm going to have to go along the top and try to seal from the top on this side. And leave this off. And I can see moisture here too. So it's not just one spot. It's multiple spots. This, of course, was the spot. You can see how water fell through here on the floor. This whole strip right here. I don't know if you recall, I had to replace this whole hallway wood and this T area right here. So this was the spot that had been wet previously to the point where there was a hole in the floor. So evidently, it wasn't fixed. Let's see if there's moisture here. That looks wet, but it's not. It's shiny looking, but it's not. It's just rubber, the silicone or whatever. But yeah, we got definitely looking here and see if there's any more water. Because I saw a wet spot right here, but I guess maybe it was running from there and dripping here. So it's not from here. Now I wish I hadn't put up all this insulation. But this area here, the wood was dry. It wasn't, yeah, I didn't have to be replaced. It's just the wall panels that need to be replaced right there. So I don't know about up here. I do not see any wet spots up along the roof. You know, it had rained here a couple times before. Look at that spider up there. There's a spider runner, a huge spider, like a daddy long legs. I have to get rid of them, but not right now. It's dark outside, and I don't want to open the door and deal with the spider in the dark and the rain and blah, 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 blah. So we'll deal with the spider another day. Hopefully he'll stay there. It's right there. I don't know if you can see the spider there on the, see him right there crawling around? I'll have to deal with him. Maybe I'll go get the bug spray and spray him right now while I still have access to him. I normally don't kill stuff like this. I normally let him go, but it's like the middle of the night and I don't want to try to catch him right now. It's just, I'm tired. And I feel bad, but I'm going to kill him. You know, I always feel bad about killing spiders. I don't know how many of you ever watched Charlotte's Web. But I can't have that spider where somebody's sleeping. Yeah, freak somebody out while they're laying there. But anyhow, there was a wet spot right here when I came back. And there was a wet spot in the hallway right here. So we know now that feeling here, and I don't feel any wetness here. So there's a wet spot right here, right by this mirror, the corner. And the, yeah, it's kind of wet, damp. And I think it's under here. Doesn't seem to be coming from this way. This is moist but not wet. And here I can see some wetness. And this is totally wet on this side. Really, really wet. Yeah, look at all this bad wood, totally wet. So it's totally seeping through everything and rotting everything. Really, really bad. See, it's not mold. But at least I know now. One of the issues with trying to determine where the leak is I know it looks like I have water and everything. This is water I hand carried in and put into the RV. Where I'm staying right now, I do not have running water. So this is water that I brought in, you know, by the gallon and poured into the RV's storage tank. So the RV itself has some water, but the park where I'm staying right now, I don't have a hose where I can hook up water and spray it up there and, you know, deal with the leak. The only time I can actually see where the leak is when it's raining and I'm here. So I wasn't even here when it was raining. I mean, it was partially here when it was raining, but I wasn't here during the daytime when it was like a huge storm, thunderstorm blew through this area. Some poor guy in the Daytona Beach area got struck by lightning while on his motorcycle, and it killed him. But anyhow, it was a huge storm. But I got back here in the evening and saw the wet spot and said, oh no. So what you're seeing all this stuff down like this is me ripping it apart. I had it all taped up and pretty and was about to put the roof panel on. I'm glad I didn't get to that yet. I wasn't in a rush to put the roof paneling on because I was waiting for a major rainstorm like this. So I can see now, you know, from this whole area back here. This is approximately, 3 or 4 feet away from the door. There is a leak here, basically along this whole thing. This could even be the primary leak, because what happens is it leaks and it'll run by gravity. And then it might fall out through here, or there's a secondary leak here. I don't know. I do know that I need to deal with this. See here, it had like metal and other stuff, but see, it's all, some of it's rusted through, and I don't know what's going on up there. It looks like some kind of gray thing. I don't know if that's metal or somebody did a repair. Like metal has totally broken through. I don't know. Hole up there, but I will have to somehow try to patch it. Thinking of using the elastomeric white that I have somewhere in here. I have the elastomeric paint that I had bought for right there. I think this is the elastomeric, what's left of it from, yeah, see the Cool Seal. Reflective roof coating elastomeric stuff. It's rubberized paint. And it's the same one that I used for the little blue tube, but this is actually a brand new, was a brand new can. And I had bought it to paint the rooftop or parts of Hut 2.0. I had some left over. So my plan is to use that to paint all of the roofing. But now that I can see where the leak is specifically, although there could be leaks back here and you don't see it, you know, because it could be running, it could be hitting the insulation and running to the side. You really don't know. So I can understand from the perspective of the viewers who told me, you know, you really should rip everything apart and get it down to basically just a shell and then check the frame and seal all the holes. That is the correct way to do it, but I don't have the resources, the time, the money to rip all this out. And right now where I'm staying, I might be losing the spot. I might be having to be on the road, ready or not. So that certainly wasn't planned for. I was hoping I could have stayed here at least 3 to 6 months. It's only been 1 month, and, you know, situation is changing, and I may have to leave. So it's not looking good. Now, I haven't finished anything. I do see water here, and some viewers have told me on the YouTube channel that there's supposed to be holes on the bottom where it drains out, and I covered them up with the tape. So I'm gonna have to go through and probably undo the tape on the bottom or drill holes to let the water drain on the windowsill. You know, the little lower portion of the windows here, the gutter type area. So it's not like leaking, but some moisture is there, and I guess I covered the hole so there's no way for it to drain. So tomorrow I'll have to deal with that, as well as this. This is kind of critical because this is obviously the actual roofing, and until all the leaks with the roof are completely dealt with, doing any further stuff in here is a waste of time and money. So this, of course, is... I know a lot of you are saying, why didn't you deal with the roof first? I couldn't. You know, I can't, like, take buckets of water and pour it up there. One, getting up there is an issue. Two, just getting water here was an issue. And, you know, you need water running like a bad rainstorm like we had here to see. And it wasn't like a huge leak because it wasn't like a big puddle here. It was a tiny little puddle, so it was a very minor leak. But it was enough to make this whole area still moist that we can see right here. So the fact that we know where it is now, that's a good first step in resolving it. So believe it or not, I'm actually grateful that I was able to come here and see the wet spots on the floor. So we got 2 spots to deal with, right here and right over here. So I am very, very much happy, even though it would seem like, you know, looking at it, you're like, why he'd be happy because he had to rip everything apart? No, not happy that I had to rip it apart. Happy that I didn't totally put it back together and put new roofing on yet, because then it would have been impossible to see this, and the leak would have ran and went everywhere. So, and of course it makes sense that it would happen here. This is the spot that was all rotted out that they replaced, you know, well, they cut the floor out, and I replaced the floor. So it's a good day. Until next time, everyone, take care. Thank you all for your kind suggestions. Those of you who are thinking that I'm ignoring the advice and suggestions of viewers, you need to understand that the videos that you're watching are 2 to 3 weeks into the past. Or the, you know, like right now, what I'm recording, you're not going to see for another 2 or 3 weeks. So by the time you comment on this, I'm actually dealing with some other issues further down, 2 weeks into your future. So keep making those suggestions, because as I can go back and fix them, like try to deal with the holes in the side windows, and your suggestions for sealing the roofing and stuff like that, I try to do them. If I have the funds or the skills or the capabilities, if I can't, I make do with what I can. And that's how things are being done. A lot of what you're seeing here, I'm doing, and you guys aren't really able to help me because you won't see it for another 2 or 3 weeks. So by the time you see it, I've already, you know, done it and then had to deal with the repairs or the leaks or whatever. But when you make those suggestions, those comments down there showing me what to do, or giving me some helpful advice, I do read them, and then if I can, I adjust it and try to fix it. So I do appreciate it. But more important than that, I think if there are people watching this video at a future date, they can see the video. They won't see it with the delay and stuff that you guys are seeing. They're going to watch a video of a repair, and they're going to be watching viewers, if they read the comments, if they bother to read the comments, they're going to watch viewers make suggestions that seem to make a lot of sense, that can help somebody in a situation like this to do the repairs in an organized and methodical fashion. The reason it's not occurring for me is because there is a time delay. I do the videos, you know, there's a huge queue backlog on what gets published, and like I said, we're about 2 or 3 weeks behind. So when you see it, it's already 2 or 3 weeks past. It's already happened, folks. So, you know, and you say, well, I shouldn't bother making suggestions. No, you should, because when I can make the fixes, I do make the fixes. And anyone looking at the videos in the future, viewer coming to this channel trying to figure out how to repair an RV cheaply, you can save them a lot of time and money by making your postings if they're valid suggestions and helpful ideas, which I found most of your suggestions have been very helpful. So I do appreciate them. And just don't think that I'm ignoring your wisdom, because I do appreciate it. And that's the power of having like a YouTube channel. It's just there's a huge time delay. By the time you see the video, you post your response, and I make the change, you're talking about 1.5 to 2 months before you see that change occur. Think of us as like me on Mars and you're on Earth sending a signal for me. If I send you a signal that I'm approaching a cliff, and you send me a signal back, you need to understand that it could take like, I don't know if it's like 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 2 days or 10 days or whatever, however long it takes for the signal to get there, then it's got to go back. If it was like an emergency maneuver and I had to get your signal to tell me to stop, it's already too late because I've already gone over the cliff. So just keep that in mind. But do make those suggestions. I am glad that I did not seal this up because I do see the leak. And that is the first step in fixing it. So until next time, everyone, God bless you all. Thank you again for your kind words and thoughts. Remember that I am actually reading your comments, and I prefer to, you know, focus on the positivity, because some of you are very negative, and you might see that I've been blocking the negative people, because right now I need all the positivity and positive energy that I can get, because it is a bit overwhelming. And I am doing the best that I can with what I have, with the limited funds, as well as limited time and other resources. But I do appreciate your help and input. Until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye now.